Hey everyone, Timona Vellera here from foxreviews.info and welcome to another edition of the weekly Forex Algorithm Review. This edition this week, I'll be highlighting a number of important zones once again, and I hope everyone had a great trading week last week, and also I hope everyone had a great Easter as well. In a few moments, what I'll be doing is highlighting a number of important technical point areas in the market, including opportunity areas, management point areas, and target areas. And I'll also take a look at how price action moved last week on multiple markets. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this week's edition of the review and see what's happening in the charts. Okay, the first pair I'd like to highlight this week in the review is EURUSD, and I'm on the daily chart. Now in EURUSD this week, what I'd like to highlight is where price action has just recently wick tested, which is the 122.16 zone area. This is an area that I've highlighted in previous reviews on this market as a potential bullish reference area. And now that price action has wick tested it, and as you can see in recent price action, the bulls have already been defending this important zone. What I'd like to highlight is that if the market pulls back into this area this week, that this is an area on this market where I'm interested in taking a bullish opportunity in this area and looking for a potential move to the upside. Potentially looking for a move all the way up to these previous highs, looking left as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move all the way up to the 125 zone area to the upside. So overall on EURUSD, holding that on a pullback and test within the 122.16 zone area, that this is an area where I'm interested in taking a bullish opportunity in this area and looking for a potential move to the upside from this important zone. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair I'd like to highlight is ADUSD, and I'm on the 1 hour chart. Now on this market this week, I'd like to highlight is two important areas. The first area I'd like to highlight on this market this week is where price action has recently been resisting, and that is the 77.12 zone area. This is a potential bearish reference area on this market, and if price action pulls back and retests this area again this week, that this would once again be an area on this market where I'm just looking for bearish events in this area. And if I see that right bearish events in this area, like we go in training, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this previous low area, looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to the 76 zone area to the downside. Now, the 76 zone area is also another area I'd like to mention on this market, and in this case, an area to the downside, where I'm interested in looking for bullish evidence in this area. And if I see that right bullish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way up to this recent low area, looking left as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move all the way up to the 77.12 zone area to the upside. So overall on ADUSD, on the 77.12 zone area as an area on this market, that if price action pulls back and retests this area this week, that this is an area on this market where we're looking for bearish evidence and a potential move to the downside from this important area, and also on the 76 zone area as another area on this market, and in this case an area to the downside where we're looking for bullish evidence and a potential move to the upside from this important area as well. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair I'd like to highlight is New Zealand USD, and I'm on the daily chart. Now recently in price action, New Zealand USD has been testing the 72 zone area. This is an area that I've highlighted in multiple recent reviews on this market as a potential bullish evidence area. And as you can see on previous tests of this important zone, this market has given a lot of nice moves to the upside from this important area. What I'd like to highlight is that potentially for all those people that are holding a buy trade on this market, that potentially this market may continue to the upside all the way up to this previous high area looking left, or potentially may continue all the way back up to retest the 73-74 zone area. And this is a great target area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade on this market. And it's also an area to the upside where I'm interested in looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see the right bearish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this recent high area looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to the 72 zone area to the downside. Now, if this market does happen to pull back and retest the 72 zone area again this week, that this would once again be an area on this market where I'm interested in looking for bullish evidence in this area. And if the right sort of bullish evidence presents itself in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way up to this high area looking left as a potential management point area to the upside, or this high as another management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move all the way up to the 73-74 zone area to the upside. So overall on New Zealand USD, holding the 73-74 zone area as a great target area to the upside for those people holding a buy trade on this market, a great long-term target area to the upside, and also the 73-74 zone area as an area to the upside in this market where I'm just looking for bearish evidence and a potential move to the downside from this important area, and also holding that if the market does happen to pull back and retest the 72 zone area again this week, that this is once again an area on this market where I'm just looking for bullish evidence and a potential move to the upside from this important area. And like I've highlighted in previous reviews in the past, just because I'm highlighting an important zone on the daily chart, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be looking for aligning evidence and a potential opportunity on the daily chart in these areas. A trader could be looking for aligning evidence and a potential opportunity on a test of one of these important zones on the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, or whatever time frame suits them as a trader. Anyway, let's go on to the next pair. Okay, next pair I'd like to highlight is Euro New Zealand, and I'm on the daily chart. Now, Euro New Zealand has been a great performer recently in price action, giving a strong decline from the 170.67 zone area. This was an area that I highlighted in the previous review of this market as a potential bearish evidence area on this market. As you can see, in recent price action, the bears took control and gave a strong decline from this important zone all the way down to this recent low area looking left, which is a potential management point area on this market to the downside for all those people holding a sell position from this area. Now, the market is supporting a little bit here at the moment, looking at that recent price action, how potentially this market may continue all the way down long term to the 166.46 zone area. And what I'd like to highlight is the 166.46 zone area is a great target area to the downside, great long-term target area to the downside for all those people holding a sell position on this market from the 170.67 zone area. And it's also an area to the downside where I'm interested in looking for bullish evidence in this area. And if I see that right bullish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way up to this low area looking left as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move all the way up to the 170.67 zone area to the upside. So overall on Euro New Zealand this week, this market performed really well in recent price action, giving a strong decline from the 170.67 zone area, which was a potential bearish evidence area, the high in the previous review on this market, and also holding a long-term target area to the downside for all those people holding a sell position on this market from this area, which is the 166.46 zone area. And also holding that the 166.46 zone area is not only a great target area, a great long-term target area for all those people holding a sell position on this market, but it's also an area to the downside where I'm just looking for bullish evidence and a potential move to the upside from this important area. Potentially move all the way up to this low area looking left as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move all the way back up to the 170.67 zone area to the upside. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair I'd like to highlight is US Swiss, and I'm on the daily chart. Now in US Swiss this week, we'd like to highlight is the 97 zone area. Price action is getting quite close to testing this area, and what I'd like to highlight is that if price action tests this area this week, that this is an area on this market where I'm interested in looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see that right bearish evidence in this area, like you go in training, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this previous high area, looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to the 94.45 zone area to the downside. So overall on this market, highlighting that if price action pushes that a little bit higher and tests the 97 zone area, that this is an area on this market where I'm interested in looking for bearish evidence in this area and a potential move to the downside from this important zone. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair I'd like to highlight is Euro Jappy, and I'm on the daily chart. Now on this market this week, we'd like to highlight is the 131.76 zone area. This is an area that has acted as strong resistance multiple times in the recent past on this market, and also is an area that has acted as strong support in the past, looking left back here as well, and is an area that if price action retests this area this week, that this is an area on this market where I'm interested looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see that right to bearish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this low area, looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to the 128.59 zone area to the downside. So overall on Euro Jappy, on the 131.76 zone area as an area on this market where I'm interested looking for bearish evidence in this area and a potential move to the downside from this important zone. And of course, depending on the evidence and how it presents itself in this important area and the risk to reward, to decide whether to consider an opportunity in this area or not. Okay, let's go on the next market. Okay, next pair of highlight is GP Jappy, and I'm on the daily chart. Now on GP Jappy this week, what I'd like to highlight is the 151.88 zone area. This is an area that's acted as strong resistance multiple times in the past, looking left back here, such as back here, and back here. And is an area to the upside that if price action tests this area this week, that I'm interested in looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see that right to bearish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this high area looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to this low as another management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to the 147.53 zone area to the downside. So overall on GP Jappy, holding that if price action pushes that a little bit higher and tests the 151.88 zone area, that this is an area on this market where I'm just looking for bearish evidence and a potential move to the downside from this important area. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair of highlight is New Zealand CAD, and I'm on the daily chart. Now on New Zealand CAD this week, we'd like to highlight is the 92.10 zone area. Much the same as the previous review of this market. The 92.10 zone area is an area that acts as really strong support, looking left back here. And if I zoom out, is an area that acts as really strong support back here, and back here in the past. And is an area on this market that if price action tests this area this week, that I'm just looking for bullish evidence in this area. And if I see that right to bullish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way up to this low and high area looking left as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move all the way up to the 94.54 zone area to the upside. So overall on New Zealand CAD, highlighting that if price action tests the 92.10 zone area this week, that this is an area on this market where I'm just looking for bullish evidence and a potential move to the upside from this important area. Okay, well that's it for me for this review today. Thanks for watching everyone. I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the support and the likes and the shares and the comments I receive on a regular basis and the feedback. And if you did appreciate this video today, please don't forget to click that like button to show support. Any questions or comments, comment below this video. And also consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet to get updates. Also, if you haven't checked out the Forex training at the site, such as the Engulfing Trader, the 5-day training series, or the counseling training series just yet, well, you can find out all about this Forex training by clicking the links below this video. Okay, well, I hope you all have a great trading week and happy trading.